SDG 9 concerns itself with industry, innovation and infrastructure. As I've mentioned in a number of these lectures concerning economic benefits for all, the economic solutions that the UN is generally supporting in its Sustainable Development Agenda don't look particularly different from the kinds of practices that we see around us every day. There's certainly no political or economic revolution here. Well, at least not in my opinion. The idea is that we tweak the system using our own ingenuity, innovation and entrepreneurism, rather than change the way the economy works at a fundamental level. You may wish to disagree with that stance, or you may wish to disagree with my view that such action is less than revolutionary, but we can save that for tutorial discussions. In order to develop new and sustainable solutions to major infrastructural and industrial problems, we're going to need to manufacture goods, create services that people need and can trade, but we need to do so with a mind to their impact on society and upon the natural world. Even though we are presumably participating in broadly the same kinds of economic systems, this is going to take a degree of infrastructural and workforce development across the planet. And so SDG 9 is about taking the infrastructure which broadly exists in the developed world and passing forward that knowledge to the peoples of less economically developed countries. So SDG 9, I think, runs hand in hand with SDG 8. I recommend that you read or watch these lectures in or alongside each other, as well as including SDG 12, which is about responsible consumption and production. In sustainability terms, I think this Sustainable Development Goal speaks very much to the technical or the technological optimist. Technological optimists essentially see the world and many of its problems as being fundamentally solved or solvable by different and new technologies. There is a debate as to whether this is overly optimistic, potentially naive, or even particularly a desirable thing. For example, the technologically optimistic view of personal transport might be for everybody to start travelling in electrical vehicles. If we were to move the world's fleet of cars to become electric cars, we know we do not have enough of the crucial trace metals we would need to make all the batteries we would want. We also know that mining that material comes with its own sustainability challenges. Now, that's not to say that in the future batteries and battery life are going to change as we develop new ideas and research in this area. However, this simple example demonstrates that technological optimism relies upon us hoping for a more technologically advanced future, as well as an appreciation of the state of the art. In other words, most of this depends upon innovation. It depends upon new ideas, new things, new jobs, new roles, and so that requires us to be flexible in two ways. Firstly, the world needs to have workforces that can have these new range of skills. And secondly, in order for them to embrace yet more complexity, they have to be educated appropriately. So SDG 8 also sits along SDG 4, or quality education, and it just shows you how interlinked many of these development goals are. What I would also say is this, as we go through this development goal, is that you will clearly see that changing the way we do things is important, but there's still a reliance on the fundamental principle of manufacturing and making things. To be honest, I don't think that's ever going to change. After all, creating goods and services is what most economies trade on. However, in terms of sustainability, it requires us to question, then, how we make things and where we draw our natural resources from. That may have implications in the future as countries who are less developed try and use their natural resources to underpin development, particularly as some of their resources become highly valued. This lecture suggests that to do so sustainably, the expertise and experience of the global north needs to be better shared so as to create a capacity in less developed countries such that industry there can continue in a more sustainable way. It also requires the global north not to take advantage of these less economically developed countries by exploiting loopholes in governance that threaten the health and safety of local communities, or by taking unfair advantage of low labour costs.